We are live now. Today is November 19, 2015, and we are starting a webinar about hybridization. I will share my controls with friends. Okay. Steven. Gaby. All right. So Peter asked me to give a short summary on hybridization, so I will cover the main topics of DNA and hybridization. The first thing to explain is that DNA hybridization is not something new. The humanity, all the humanity is a hybrid species. We are the hybrids which contain both the ancestral genetics from earthly animals, earthly primates, earthly monkeys, and from aliens. Ancient aliens came to Earth historically in all times, before Atlantis, during Atlantis, after Atlantis, during the Egypt, the Jewish exile from the Egypt, during times of old ancient China, ancient Middle Asia, ancient Americas. They all have been there. And they contributed to human genome. So we are now a mixture of many earthly races and many alien races. So why would the aliens come to Earth and hybridize with humans? The first reason would be that often, especially in very ancient times before humans appeared on Earth, these were the refugees from their wars, from their planet destructions, who came to Earth and just settled here. And for most of the aliens, the Earth would be a hostile environment in terms of air and water and electromagnetic and gravity, electromagnetic radiation and gravity. It all will be different for their biology, so they would have to adjust. And especially they would have to adjust to the vibration of the Earth, which is different. So they lived here in artificial environments, basically in domed cities, and wear this space suits and or whatever a protective field that they had to use to survive on Earth. And they intentionally created the humans as vessels to carry, to be able to incarnate in humans and live on Earth in a more suitable form. So they took some of their DNA, and some of their monkey DNA or whatever prehistoric human DNA, and mixed together using their genetic engineering, and created a human which would be more advanced and be a better vessel for their advanced souls. And initially, the Earth was higher dimensional. It was higher dimensional. The aliens were able to live here more comfortably. And the highest point for the humanity was Atlantis. In Atlantis, the vibration was high, and the aliens walked on the street. It was an open galactic society, and the humans were at our highest point. And then there was self-destruction, basically the big catastrophe, the World War, which caused the fall of humanity and the fall of the vibration of the Earth. So we went dimensionally, we shifted dimensionally down. And there was a big catastrophe for humanity, and we are the Atlanteans who incarnate now and are going to fix that trauma, are going to heal that trauma. We are hybrids in many ways. We consist of many races. The main races is historically the main races who contributed to human genetics were, again, primates from Earth, the earthly primates, the earthly ancestors. Then the aliens were Pleiadians, and related to them are Nordics and Orions, same type of major genetics, basic human genetics. Um, Lyrans, Yael, a bit of Arcturians, Anunnaki, a little bit of uh, ancient Syrians from Sirius, a bit of Martians, possibly Elohim. We haven't confirmed that yet. The Greys, but the Greys is a separate story. I will tell you about more about it. Yael, tall Greys, Yael, Andromedans, and many more. But I called kind of in order of proportional representation, roughly, very roughly, very roughly. And reptilians, of course, I forgot reptilians. And reptilians. All right, so some of those were refugees, obviously, and others just were races who went around the universe and just seeded themselves. So they wouldn't live here, but they would contribute their genetics for many reasons. And one of the reasons, it's nice to be related to a growing race. So now as humanity grows and blossoms, and we are about to ascend to next dimension, which will take maybe 100, 200 years, maybe five or more generations, 3 to 8 generations. So when we come out to the galactic community, being related to us is an honor and a practical advantage. So we will have, when we could go out, we'll have brothers and sisters, and as relatives, they would be entitled to communicate to us first. So that's also interesting for them. For many positive races, it's just the idea of service. If their genes are contributing to our ascension, to our evolution, to our improvement, they would eagerly contribute their genes. And it might happen on a race level, as a race contributing the genes, or on individual level, when individual aliens would contribute the genes. So that happened in distant past, in middle centuries, medieval times, recent history, and continues to happen right now. Yes, that happens. Understand that they are coming from a different dimension. All 95% of the aliens are coming from a different world, from a different dimension. And it is the dimension up. Usually it goes under the name fourth density or fourth dimension. Sometimes the numbering system is different, so don't be worried if they call it fifth dimension or sixth dimension or seventh dimension. It's really all relative. It depends how you count the levels, how many steps up. But most of our alien friends come from whatever you call it, fourth density. And the main property, what's the difference between our density and their density? The main property is telepathy. They are telepathic. So when you hear the stories about aliens coming and talking in your head and talking to each other without opening the mouth, these are mostly true stories. And they come here to, many good friends come here to help us. Many good friends come here to help us. What is the reason for them to shift down dimensionally and be helping us? There are many reasons, but for good ones, the main reason is of service and helping us to survive. Basically, as you know, we are in a crisis and we have way down and way up. One way going down and one way going up. And obviously they want to help us going up. And as we go up, we will contribute to the galaxy and to the universe because our culture is unique in many ways. and we are full of life. The humanity is full of life. And that's not always true for other alien races. Some of them are old and some of them are dying. We are young and full of life. Our genetics is unique in many ways, that we are carrying lots of talents which will be developed and opened as we go up dimensionally. They're dormant. They're dormant talents. We know from many sources, our main sources of information are channeling and witnesses who come from this world. Some of the humans shift back and forth. They've been taken and returned back. And also astral travel. Some people just astral travel and know. So people go there and come back and tell the stories how it is out there. And telepathy is true. Telepathy is true. Also, we learned that when our genetically humans from the Earth, when our humans go there, they can start developing telepathy very fast. Especially if humans are taken there as children, they develop full-blown telepathy. And they learn the telepathic language of the aliens, and it is not something which is not present in our genetics. It's only we are capable of telepathy, we just need to learn it from the childhood. And also the vibration of their higher dimension is conducive, promoting, helping telepathy. So as you are there, you are much more telepathic than you are here. Down on Earth, it's more difficult to be telepathic, but it's also possible. Other talents are psychic talents, psychic ability to see the future, to change the future, to see the past, see new dimensions, speak to the spirits, astral travel. All of this is included in psychic abilities. Understand also that we are talking to more than one timeline of their higher dimensions. It's multiple storylines, multiple timelines. We are speaking to people from the future, from the parallel present in the fourth density. I don't know if we spoke to people from the past, but certainly from the future for sure. And we're also speaking to the spirit world, which is even farther dimensionally from us. Hybridization. So this hybridization is helping us to get those abilities. So when we get, historically and now, when we get this set of genetics, it all, in most cases, helps us to get used to this higher dimension. And the humanity, the Earth, is shifting right now, gradually, year by year, day by day. We are shifting towards the fourth density, fourth dimension. And again, the typical signature, typical signs of this four-dimensional life is psychic abilities, telepathic abilities, premonition, feeling the future, deja vu, shifting between different timelines, flexibility of the future and flexibility of the past. The past is also becomes flexible. Understand that this physical life is an incarnation, and it is a spirit who has a dream. You are an eternal spirit having a dream. And when you have a dream, it's your dream, but in your dream you meet other spirits having their own dreams. So every human you are meeting here is another spirit who has their own dream. And some of their common past is fixed, but some of the past is different for every human you meet. So people discover it right now. It's called Mandela effect. Mandela, you just ask people about common things which everybody remembers, and you realize that some of the memories are different because these souls come from different pasts and meet with you in this present from different past, from different timelines. And also they also go in different timelines in the future. So how you define where you will end up? By your vibration, by your intention, and by following your highest excitement, by following your intuition, creativity, and by thinking positive. So if you think positive, it's more likely that you will end up in a positive timeline and your future will be bright. You will end up in humanity, which becomes successful, becomes a successful member of the galaxy, and brings the light to the galaxy and the universe. If you are caught in fear and anger and resentment, you might end up in a negative timeline where the humanity destroys itself or goes in different downhill spirals. So all is defined by your present status of vibration, state of vibration. So smile, choose the positive side, feed the good wolf, feed the white wolf. Um, a good movie to watch about it is called Tomorrow's Land. This year, two wonderful movies came out which help you understanding the nature of the reality. It's Tomorrowland and it is Inside Out. I recommend highly both. It's very spiritual, very um, transforming movies. Now, the hybridization. As you are dreaming, you define the level of your hybridization. The nature of the reality is not fixed. You can choose what hybrid you are. The life is so crazy, you can choose. Your excitement drives your hybridization. If you believe you are a Pleiadian hybrid, your DNA gradually, you shift to the reality, to the timeline, when you become more and more of a Pleiadian hybrid. You just wake up one morning and you think, I am Pleiadian. Oh, I had a past life in Pleiades. And if you think that you are Arcturian or Yael or Tall Gray or a reptilian, many of our friends have great reptilian connection and it can be positive as well. Or a Sirian hybrid or Andromedan hybrid. Andromeda is a galaxy, but there are humans in Andromeda. So it's up to you which hybrid, which idea you resonate most. As you investigate it, you find more and more proofs that it is true. So your focus of attention defines your reality in a very real way. If you focus on negative things, or I have been abducted by the aliens, or I had terrible implants, or they messed up my health, or they control my life, or I lost that, and that, or I will die someday. You will not die, but if you're obsessed with that, or I'm angry at that and that, or I feel sorry about that and that, you define your reality, and you get more and more proofs that the things are the way they are. So if you doubt, you get proofs which feed your doubt, and you end up in the dark side. If you choose to look at the bright side, if you choose to see the glass of water half full, it's full of water, there is water in it, a drink, a symbol of life, then you find the proofs that things go well. So focus, be practical, but focus on good side. You have to be aware of negativity. You have to be aware of conspiracies, of the politics. But dive there, investigate, and don't forget to come back and focus on positive things. It's what your focus of attention is what defines the proofs you get. So now I'm talking to so many wonderful light workers, so many wonderful hybrid starseeds, people visiting alien worlds, the hybrids who have relatives in alien worlds. I get daily proofs of that reality, daily proofs, and some of that is through the words of others, and some of that through my personal experience, like personal experience. They're tiny, but undeniable personal proofs. And the best ones are when the spirits help you. Like on yesterday's broadcast, I mentioned one word which colored everything dark. And when I look at this broadcast, I felt that it wasn't a good word to use. It was a word death. But it was in a place where it took the bright side and turned it down. When I watched the recording, my friends blurred it so you can't really hear that word. Everything else just goes smooth, but the word death is just wiped out from it. It's like wiped out. So we are dealing with the spirits and the aliens, friendly aliens, who are much involved in what we are doing. We are blessed by their guidance, and we are thankful for that. The next question is the star children up there, the hybrid children. So the aliens ran the alien hybridization program and continue to run it, where they take the DNA from humans and mix with their DNA and produce children up there. And it's very well documented. Many people visited those children, have been on those ships and planets where these children live, hybrid children. And these children look partly human, partly non-human, and they're hybridized to many different races. Children, human and Lyran hybrid, look a little more like cats, and Lyrans usually have bigger litters, meaning they give birth to many children at once, so they have lots of brothers and sisters. Hybrids with Pleiadians, in their culture, they now are very much ecological, so they like to absorb sunlight and be like plants, so they genetically produce the chlorophyll in their skin, so they're all green, so they can feed off natural light. So they choose to be green, but if they wish to change color, like we paint our skin, they can genetically modify their skin and become of any color: blue, white, black, brown, whatever, purple. So there is a lot of blue Pleiadians of Nordic descent. Yael children look like tall grays. Actually, there is a variety. Some of them look exactly like humans, and some of them look like grays, and there is all variants. And again, they are brought up in their cultures, and at the moment, our friends treat the hybrid children with great respect and give them all citizen rights, all rights of their culture. They bring them up with the families and respect the wishes of those children. And of course, these children, because they have human parents, they take the DNA from here, they are connected to us, they wish to visit us, and they invite parents to come up there. So this is a big part of the culture. So if you have children up there, be ready to visit them. And when their doors will be open, when the borders will be open, when the open contact will happen, then this would be the first beings from alien worlds who will visit us, our direct relatives, our children. Many of us have 1, 2, 3, several children up there, and we are looking forward to see them coming down and visiting us. For some of them, living on Earth may be not easy, but visiting would be wonderful, and reunions would be wonderful. And again, at some point when the doors of the borders of the Earth will be lifted, then we'll be able to visit them in their worlds and see how they live, see their culture through, and be introduced by our direct relatives to them. So this is wonderful. Okay, the dark side of the hybridization program was when an alien race of Zeta Grays, small grays, exchanged the right to do the hybridization. They negotiated with their world governments and exchanged the right for providing certain military technologies or just some technologies. It's like propulsion and free energy technologies and transdimensional shift technologies like portals, anti-gravity, free energy, and possibly a little bit of mind control and propulsion. These were as I understand, the main technologies which were discussed and transferred. In exchange for basic technologies, they got the right to uh, do the hybridization. So the government sort of secretly approved that. And at that point, they didn't have a good technology for hybridizing and producing hybrid children. So, and also for taking humans, they didn't have it. They didn't do it right, and they didn't really care about our suffering. So, they did it in the most technically efficient way, but they didn't realize how damaging it was for the abductees to be taken and hybridized and returned back. They returned back the humans, but the humans were traumatized by the managing of them. So that happened in 60s, maybe 50s, and because the Zeta Grays have the time travel capacity, they went back in time, and things happened even in the past. They had an excuse for doing it because their race is old and dying and genetically um, damaged. They needed they take good genes from everywhere and produce new hybrids and use these hybrids as incarnation vessels for their souls. So there is a good reason for that, but the way they did it was not. It was secret and not very beneficial for Earth, and not very beneficial not very proper from the galactic perspective. It's not the way the things should be done. You don't do it secretly and don't give military governments the weapons. Anyway, that agreement fell apart very fast. Basically, the Zeta continued the hybridization. The humans continued their stuff, but they stopped collaborating, so they started fighting each other. And because Zetas have very advanced technology, basically the fight was unequal. In any case, they produced lots of hybrids, and many hybrids died, and some of the hybrids were treated not well by human standards. But in any case, they created several hybrid races, and those races became independent. And one of those races is Yael. And here is a time shift paradox because the Zetas come from a different reality. The time for them is very different. And again, Yael are coming from a different reality, and the time frame for them is very different. So, in one understanding, the Yael are produced from modern humans and our future descendants. On the other hand, they are also our ancestors. So it is a time jump, and Yael have been here for the whole history of the humanity, which is mind-boggling. It's hard to understand. I really don't understand it. Just the information I got, and I just have to live with it. We produced hybrid children. They became a Yael race, and we are descendants of the Yael race. There is a loop closed. In any case, the Zetas are now extinguished from our reality. They are not permitted to abduct people and do the hybridization without their conscious consent. So they will have to ask your physical mind. They have to ask you if you agree for that. And it's up to you whether you agree or not. But basically, now the Earth is under Earth, outside of the Earth. The solar system is under the control of beneficial, benevolent, positive alien races who make sure the Zetas don't come. Also, the negative Orions and negative reptilians are kept away from us. So that hybridization program is stopped at the moment. Although their children live there in their worlds, and it's a concern for us how well they are treated. Many of them are now adults already, and some of them are advanced age. The new hybridization program is started, only which is voluntary. So there is a new voluntary hybridization program run by our friends, Pleiadian, Arcturian, Lyran, good reptilian called Lashunda, Fendorian, Yael. I think I mentioned everybody. Arcturian, Pleiadian, Yael, Fendorian, Lashunda. That should be the sixth one. So basically, you can volunteer to donate your genetic material, and they will borrow it transdimensionally. So you normally wouldn't even notice that they took your sperm or your egg for the hybridization. Some women might feel slightly pregnant temporarily, like for a week or two, and then it kind of goes away. Again, you have to consciously volunteer, and the way to volunteer, you might try just speaking to them. They don't read your mind, so you have to say it aloud in a prayer manner, like, my dear alien friends. You name the race which you invite, or the alliance of races. Like Gurkfitnir is one of those. So you might invite Gurkfitnir and say, I want to provide my material, genetic material, my genetics, my DNA for hybridization to produce a child in your world. Or you can specifically say in which culture. To make sure, you might want to send an electronic message. We created an email account which they check. It's called signuptogo@gmail.com. Signuptogo@gmail.com. So you might just send a mail and say that in plain English or whatever language you like. And they check those emails and take into consideration. When you send a mail, it's kind of a physical proof that you're really consenting, you're really ready. Another form is anonymous. There is anonymous form on the website humancolony.org, and there you can anonymously submit your application, and they trace you just through electronic traces. The aliens can find out who you are, so you don't really have to say your name. So you also ask, what specifically do you want? And there are multiple options. One is to visit them in we call it human colony, but basically it's a basis, several bases where human and aliens, friendly aliens, come in contact and learn many things. Humans explain how we live, and aliens teach us mainly telepathy, but many other things. Teach us galactic culture. So visiting the colonies, donating your DNA for the hybridization up there, inviting alien DNA for hybridization down here. So basically, if you want a hybrid child, you can invite some of the alien DNA to be contributed to the child which we will produce with your mate. And then DNA infusions. DNA infusions, if you want to receive some of the alien DNA, you can invite that. Let me explain a little bit of DNA infusions. DNA infusions are when you say which of the alien DNA you want, one of the above, or whatever, and they gradually create it in you. So they do transdimensional synthesis, so they holographically create holographic cells mostly in your brain and in the heart and other parts of the important essential parts of the body. So not the whole body, but some parts of the body will have artificial cells which will have hybrid alien plus human DNA, and they gradually become materialized, and they spread all over the body or all over the organ, all over the brain, and you get this new infusion, new DNA. So you will have your DNA plus a little bit of alien, and usually just a few percent here and there to give you more talents. And usually they think about what specific talents they give. If you know a specific alien, you might ask for their specific DNA. So I asked for Takur's DNA, and so you can ask for the same. For me, it was more symbolic. I wanted to be related to her. Any questions so far?
Yes, I had a question, Max.
Yes.
What's really interesting about the pregnancy of many women, or those that feel that they're pregnant, have the symptoms of it, the hybridization, it is very interesting that some women can carry uh, alien genetics within them for a good 2 or 3 months, and then all of a sudden they're not pregnant anymore. And I've seen on documentaries of this going on, which is really interesting. You know, because many women out there feel like, well, what's going on? You know, I'm how can I be pregnant um, when maybe there wasn't someone around to get them pregnant. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So that is fascinating. That whole subject unto itself, and even most women in the world wouldn't be aware unless they understand these concepts, that it's a possibility that they are their genetics are being borrowed, or incubation, or some type of carrying uh, the mixture of the DNA within the woman for the first 2 or 3 months, and then all of a
So,
sudden they're not pregnant anymore. So that is.
so I like to expand to that.
Go ahead.
Is that I don't think it's well. I don't think it's interesting. Sometime like to understand a little bit more, because sometimes symptom became more than symptom. It become look like feel like a real. Now, is there any way for the woman to kind of more engage so that we are a little bit more consciously aware? For example, like I see sometimes babies' hands and drawings. How can I know it is not just imagining, or actually remembering, digging out from subconscious mind? Like confirmation and more, hey, you did a good job. Here's your baby's picture.
Um, and the answer is you define your reality. The nature of the reality is such that the more you doubt, the more you look for confirmation, the less confirmation you get. I learned myself hard way. If you start questioning everything, it just falls apart, and you get the mainstream point of view. And usually it's very depressing. And if you start playing along and just ignore the doubt and give some faith, do a leap of faith, and stay positive, then things you get positive confirmations. Understand also that you shift between different realities. You shift daily, and even every few, like with hourly, you shift between different realities. You exist in multiple dimensions, multiple realities. When you shift down to 3D mainstream life, you get all the confirmations. Your life becomes 3D. You shift down, you get all this negativity, all the proofs, all the sicknesses, you shift up in 4D, for the density, whatever, and things become miraculous. And I found that, like, I go to those, how do you call them, health fairs, and I get Reiki and other healing, and maybe psychic tarot reading or something, or psychic session from several different people. By the end of going like through 3 hours of ascension, like assisted ascension, today's evening assisted ascension, I get so high just from having Reiki done on me, from me willing to be there on a high level, from the intent, being around people like Jim, enlightened people or of high vibration, just shifts you up. And by the end, miracles start happening just by themselves. So as you shift, you get there, and things become wonderful. Again, for us, the hybrids, all of us are the hybrids. For us, the hybrids, it's usually not as easy to stay there forever. So to keep things going, to keep your computer going, working fine, to keep your finances going fine, you have to shift back and forth. So Be prepared to shift back and forth to 3D, 4D, 3D, 4D. Very practical material, very spiritual, dreamlike world. But stay positive in either direction, in either place, and you create that reality which is good for you. So um, now specifically about drawings of the children, drawings, what hybrid are you carrying? When you are there, you have better chance on 4D. Say when you are meditating, when you're in positive mood, you have perfect chance to speak to your child, to speak the soul of the soul of the child, to speak to the parents of your child. So usually a hybrid child has more than two parents. It could be three or four, even more. It would be you, another human, male, female. So you have to have, like, for the basis, you have to have male, female, and it could be an alien and another alien, a pair of them, or it can be you and a human hybrid. So it will be a hybridization between human and already partially non-human, and another pair of parents from the alien world who will bring up the child. So all of the above, they all can be related. So in essence, when we are talking about hybrid children, usually you are not the father of a hybrid child or a mother. You're genetically more like grandmother. You carry only quarter of their DNA, or plus minus, because it's not exactly fixed, but roughly you carry a quarter of their DNA, not half of their DNA. Usually for a human child, you carry half of their DNA. You contribute half of their DNA. So talking to channelers allows to solve these mysteries, and especially talking to channelers in a positive manner allows to create the positive reality where these dreams becomes very positive. And your contact with this child is, you can actually channel, people can actually channel this child, and you can speak to the child. So that becomes very positive, and then as they grow, they also can have conversations with the child. And someday you can meet them. Maybe it will be a few years from now, maybe it will be like 10 years or 15 years from now, but our estimate is that by year 2030, there will be already all things in place for us to meet the children. We will have already some sort of gradually opening of the borders. Just remember how the Soviet Union opened their border, or how European Union accepted new members. Always a trial period, a certain period for incorporation, but then the borders are fully open and people start going back and forth very easily. So by year 2050, most likely we'll have our borders fully open and people will go up and down freely. So you just need to live another 35 years and you will be able to visit them at will without a problem. So carrying a hybrid child is an honor and a bliss. In the past, I know some of the women who carried hybrid children, the technologies were not good and they had mischiefs happening to their reproductive organs. Now the technologies are better, and especially if you are being in contact with Gork they have pretty good technology. Their success rate is high, and they know that what they are doing. It is very beneficial for the child to be carried by their direct genetically related mother. Again, because of the immunity alignment and because of the vibrational alignment, the child is born, basically the first weeks of the life of this hybrid child, of the fetus, are on Earth. So they carry this Earth vibration. So later for them it will be much easier to come to Earth and just be here. The aliens born there, or hybrids born up there and who developed up there, the vibration of Earth is more foreign for them, so it's much more difficult for them to come here. So the hybrid children conceived here would have better chances to come here and teach us galactic languages, galactic culture, galactic technologies. And they are eager, they're prepared, that's their life mission, to come, be it diplomats, missionaries, uh, representatives, spokespeople. That is, we have tons of confirmations that it is so true.
Max, can I
Yes,
oh,
yes.
can I ask you one more question related to that pregnancy? Could you tell me the role of the moon, the cycle of the moon? It seemed to have a significant influence on me, and I would imagine probably other women as well.
Yeah, we all are under influence. Just without looking at the sky, you can often tell which phase of the moon is there because I just feel like the night of the no moon or the day before and after, like how do you call it? Zero moon? I don't know the word. Dark moon, whatever. Uh, you just have jumps of this your mood up and down, and usually it's like falling down. Everything is fine, but you have no energy whatsoever, and it's it's very easy to catch sickness if you overwork on that day because the moon is essential for you to keep the balance. Um, I know the study on that topic. Gaclin, French researcher, astrologist Gaclin, he is the most respected researcher in the area who did real biomedical studies studying the effects of the planets on health and actual relation to genetics. There is tons of that which we don't know, and obviously it's not studied by mainstream science. Gaclin on astrology and genetics. I think his studies are very interesting.
Would you mind to spell that for me?
Gocklien. If you Google that genetics astrology, you'll get to the right place. You have to do all three words, otherwise it wouldn't come up. Maybe I misspelled a little bit, but I think more or less.
It's okay.
It was a French name, so yes.
Okay, I have one more question, but I will let other people go.
No problem, no problem. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so if this is a fundamental question about the if soul is infinite, why any one alien or anybody else needs our DNA vessel to survive? Can they just reincarnate and pick other vessel or going back to spirit?
It's for the physicality of the body.
I guess I'm trying to look for why the human hybridization.
It's nice that you don't understand because I don't understand why you don't understand. I think it's obvious. It's a game. It's a nice experience to live a physical life. That's what Brian just said. They want to play our toys. Is it a good answer? They want to play our toys. They want to smell our flowers, experience our rain, the fall, and the sex, and all of that.
They wanted to experience the density, third dimensional density. They want to explore things that, when you're different densities, the one thing, the range of emotion, the whole experience, this grand experience. That's really what it comes down to.
That's good because as long as it's not desperate, right? Because it sounded the way it's introduced was desperate attempt. We must help them. It's not like we must help them. It's their option. We're willing to go along with their choices. Is that's better way to understand.
Oh, there are all flavors here. You define your reality. You define your reality. If you look at the word desperate, that brings you to Zeta Grace. And don't trust Zeta Grace. Whatever they say, don't trust them. They are known to be deceivers. You can deal with them. Some of us have past lives as Zeta Grace, have genetics of Zeta Grace. I think all humanity has genetics of Zeta Grace now. They went to the past, injected themselves, so we are partly Zetas. So they are our relatives. So They are desperate for sure. Desperation is their key emotional feature. I think they wiped out all of other emotions except desperation. So, so if you want to investigate desperation, then it's your address. But if you want to play with the idea of love, then go to Pleiadians, Arcturians, Yael. Yael also have the trace of desperation. When you speak to Yael, they are powerful, but there is always that memory of Zeta desperation. Because Zetas are us in parallel timeline just killing ourselves through genetics. They just mutated ourselves to becoming machines and wiping out the military features. Understand that most of the human races have been created as warriors. First races were created as slaves by Anunnaki, but later races, like name everyone, every race, Aryans, which would be Irish, and Iranians. Iranians, Irish, just the same word. It's all the same idea, and few other races. It's all mixed together. It's just kind of the names stay there, but it's all mixed together now. But were created as warriors. Syrians. You look at their stelas; they're warriors. Egyptians are warriors. Um, all races. Every race, all the Asian races have been created as warriors, but Jewish race was created as warriors, trying to take control of the planet, bring your dominance over the planet. So this was egotistic desire of whoever created this race. And these races that came and brought their genes, they also brought some of their genes were warrior genes. So they tried to create a super soldier, which would be on one hand controllable through religion, money, and so on, but on the other hand, fight well and be selfless in their fighting. And I think the worst case was, how do you call this? Chinggis Khan army. They were really selfless. They wiped out many races and civilizations on Earth. It was one of the worst ones. But now many of those just evolved to the opposite side. That the older races, they're not as military anymore. The economy is military, the countries are military, the states are military, but the people are soft and gentle. And after traveling around, I just say America has more population of peaceful, gentle people than many other countries. It's amazing how the mixture of the culture and the constitution and positive ideas and idea of liberties allow the whole several generation of peaceful people to evolve here. Again, mixed with the military, but there is that layer which is sufficient to give rise to light workers, people of love, and that would be their network which will help the shift in the earth to the love state, to the fourth dimension. Questions, ideas?
I know it's a time. Just the last things that this I think it's wonderful, beautiful. It's a great way to start the weekend. Those things that the hybridization more to do with the DNA implants or cell implants, so-called. I think it's a wonderful too. Now that let's say when the time passes, some of how those things being cleaned up? Like let's say the things that you got previously no longer serve. Is there something that we could do, like, or to kind of cleanse so that the new and the better things going to come in?
Sure. Yes. Yeah, the original implants were pretty crude, and they were technical, mechanical, and the technology of the implantation on humans improves very fast. So new implants are very smart, very non-intrusive, very healthy. They don't hurt that much. They don't screw up your health as much, and most of them are used only for tracking and not for control. The original Zeta Grays and negative other races, reptilian, Orion races, Nordic races, they were using implants to do the control. And the main idea of Zetas is to produce enough hybrids so they can take over the planet just by controlling the hybrids. That idea is not playing anymore, so the implants are not good anymore and not used anymore. But every race which is dealing with us uh, usually uh, places the implants in their subjects, and now it is by invitation. Again, to apply for being associated with Görkfitnir, just write to sign up to go at humancolony.org, or no, sign up to go at gmail.com, or in the forum of humancolony.org. Apply, just fill the form, say I want to be with you, I want to be protected by you. And they will make sure to remove the negative implants and put the good implants. And the good implants are used basically to mark the territory. So the alien races have now a cold war, basically. The good ones protect us, but if negative ones come and see that this subject is marked by the good implant, by the implant of Görkfitnir, they wouldn't touch it. Or Galactic Federation, or Eran, or Pleiadian, or Reptilian, or whatever. They don't usually touch the subjects of others. It's like a territory of different alien races. So you can be volunteer to be associated with that race or the other race. To be completely removed, to have implants completely removed, also write and say, I want all my implants removed. So the Görkfitnir will remove all implants and you'll be on your own, but reptilians, negative aliens, negative reptilians, negative Zetas, negative Orions, negative Nordics might not listen to you, so you might still have their implants. Right. Thank you for asking. You also asked the previous webinar, you asked about 12-strand DNA. And
Yes.
I need to update. I mean, right after the webinar, I got this wow download, basically. Okay, what I said then, I need to expand it. So what I said then, our physical third-dimensional body has only 2 strands. The third strand is there, known by science. It's very temporary. It's RNA attached to the 2 strands of DNA. It's known, it's functional, but it has nothing to do with the theory of multiple DNA strands. Basically, we have only 2, and they are used to copy each other, and then they duplicate, and then they duplicate, and then duplicate, and blah, blah, blah. So duplicate meaning duplicate and separate into different cells. Each cell has 2 strands. Then they duplicate, separate. Duplicate, separate. So our 3D DNA has always 2 strands. The next dimensions have also 2 strands each layer of their dimension. So our like etheric body has multiple layers. So it would be one layer has 2 strands, next layer has 2 strands, next layer. So the idea of upgrading of the DNA is your connection to those layers becomes stronger, and your DNA becomes whole again, and you have multiple strands from different dimensions connected. Aliens have more strands together because they're multidimensional. That's why they have more strands. So that's what I said last time. The upgrade of that, expansion of that, is that when you look at this multidimensionally, they all form a multidimensional helix, which I cannot show it in 3D, but basically it still remains a helix. It's just multidimensional helix. So when you have an upgrade, you reconnect that helix. It becomes vibrant. You have the capacity to shift to higher dimensions easily, to have telepathic and psychic abilities easily. So it is, DNA becomes multidimensional spiral, but it's not in this 3D. It's not in this mainstream money controls 3D. In money controls 3D, you still have two strands, and then as you meditate, as you grow into your spirit grows into you, you become more multidimensional. Right now, all the strands are there. You're just not connected to them. They are behind the veil, so you have to penetrate the veil and connect to them.
Yes. So I seen the picture, the 12-strand DNA picture somewhere. So that's why I wanted to ask. It was a beautiful picture. I do understand there are a lot of, not a lot, some small percentage of human on Earth now has third strands already, as well as rare, but is a fourth strand.
Which is translated to English. I think it's only by pairs. I think it's translated to normal English. Some of the humans are already ascended. They already live in this dimension and a higher dimension. They have multidimensional bodies. That's how I would translate it.
I think we have a question from the chat room. Would you like to take this?
Yes, go ahead.
There's a question about the implants on the right side of my scalp.
Skull, okay.
Yeah. I heard the ear a lot, but that's maybe different. She said my scalp?
Skull.
I heard about,
no,
yeah.
Scalp is something else. Skull.
Yes. So, would you like to take this question?
So what's the question? There is implants. What's the question? Take it out, or why is it there?
I don't know.
Hi guys,
like
this is Holly.
There you
yes.
are.
I'm the one that typed that in. I put out a new application to with Tracur to get some more upgrades, and I wanted to visit. And I really put a lot into my new application, and it wasn't 2 hours later. I was at Starbucks having coffee when I sensed a presence around me, and they put it right in under my skin, on my scalp, right under the skin on the right side of my head. And I went home and I had my son look at it, and he said it looks like a tiny little incision, and I still feel it. I can feel it right there, but I was assuming that's just kind of for location purposes and to help with transportation and things?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Also, I mean, their implants are very advanced. There are doctors, ufologists, who try to cut them out, and I was on a webinar with one which said, you know, I had to hunt it. It would run away from me. Like you open the skin in the feet, do the surgery, and it would run away.
No way. Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
they're very advanced. And they're multidimensional. They're biological. You wouldn't see them on the X-ray or anything of that.
Really?
They're not destroyable, but by X-ray or the machine, so they are very advanced. They use it, again, to track you, to label you, so bad guys wouldn't touch you because you're under protection now.
Oh,
you apply
good.
it, so you got it. You are protected now. Not
awesome.
that you are protected from the police.
Right. Well, no problem with that.
You might still get a ticket, but bad things are from the negative aliens, basically. Men in Black would possibly know whose subject you are. Go ahead, Brian.
And the nice thing about that is it's an exchange. It's really an energy exchange, because you're giving a service to them in a way, or allowing them to work with your genetics, and maybe to use some of your DNA in an exchange service. They are giving you some type of protection, and also maybe the implants are there to check your vitals. Maybe they can send energy through those devices or energetics to help the body and also with your awareness. And so there is a benefit for both sides, both parties involved.
Well, I'm kind of glad to have it, but I was really surprised they were very prompt. It wasn't 2 hours later, I swear. since
Absolutely.
pushing that enter button.
Absolutely. Yeah, we have those reports which are best proof that this is real. People send the electronic application to sign up to go@gmail.com, and they report that something happened of that sort. The visitation or some, implant experience is the first one reported to me. Yeah, share the reports with me because it's wonderful to have, this, Makiko, you wanted confirmations. Here it comes.
There you go.
Yeah, I go. So skull is
Well,
the
no,
bone. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't. I love your shirts, by the way.
Thank you.
Yes. So I do feel it in it. So it would be nice, like a different session, when to like almost like a doctor's visit, right? How do you know and when to contact and follow the symptom, and this is don't worry, this maybe you want to contact, so
Can you repeat your question in a simpler way? Because I'm lost.
oh well, I do feel things here. I've been feeling it. It is sometimes it bothers me
Okay.
because of the high pitch noise,
Okay.
and then now feel like I'm feeling this side as well. And I also have something up here, but it's difficult to know, right? It's not like intolerable. It's just wanted to.
Are you saying these are implants or not? Are you sure these are implants?
Yeah. Yes.
So how do you know? Do you feel the something? How do you know that these are implants? Just help me.
I was told by multiple
Uh,
beings, but also I felt first, and then I
okay.
asked.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. So all you need to ask and invite. So if you feel that it's uncomfortable, just say, "Hey guys, hello. Hey guys, it's uncomfortable. Can you adjust it?" Because on the other side, sometimes you have experts working. Sometimes this would be practicing students, right? And they messed
Yes,
me up
I.
too, and I was complaining, and they fixed it. But really, like if they don't have a good readout of your state, they don't read your mind. So you have to communicate very clearly what you really want. Like sometimes they block something because they think the guide from there thinks that I'm going to do that stupid thing, and I say, "Hey, guide from there, I will not do that stupid thing. I will do the other thing," and they unblock my connection, and I do the other thing. And sometimes I
Uh,
forget my promise. I do the stupid thing, and then then they lose their credibility, right?
yes. Got it. Got it. The communication, right? Yes.
Yeah.
I
So speaking
understand.
aloud or speaking aloud in your mind and speaking on this forum is especially helpful. So if like, what is your desire? Do you want it adjusted, removed, or improved? What you want?
Yes. Originally, I asked the upgrade. I just didn't
Uh-huh.
realize it's already there. I
Uh-huh.
mean, it happened already. And then I think they adjusted for me. I complained. Yes, I did complain.
Yes.
Um,
So they listen
so,
to us now. So if you want any more adjustments, just tell them.
okay. Thank you.
Hey, Max,
Yes.
I just wanted to throw in there also. Also remember that even though you have all these extraterrestrial races that may be what you would call working with the human, at any given one point, they're always those races are also being guided by what you would call angelics and other sources. So they're also being watched. So even though they may be watching us, the watchers are also being watched. So
Absolutely.
it's a win-win for everyone in the ultimate scheme of things. So always
Absolutely.
remember that.
And again, you define how you interpret this. If you just decide that you have been controlled by negatives and they control you and you don't have control of yourself, you get tons of proof that it is true. So you choose. In a dark state, in a sadness, you choose. In neutral state, choose. And in happy state, you choose. How do you interpret things? It's all about beliefs and interpretation. So I suggest it's your choice, but at any moment, just smile, thank the creation, and breathe. And that will shift you to the better timeline. You always shift. You always have the capacity to shift to a better timeline.
Max.
Yes, Joanna. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello, nice to meet you. You mentioned earlier something about DNA, activating your DNA strands.
Yes.
And I was wondering about the symptoms of activating these DNA strands.
Where do I start? Things become different. Yeah, the first thing people notice is 11:11 on the clock. All the time, right? 11:11. Synchronicities, you just shift to higher dimensional reality. You shift back and forth, but as you look for higher dimensional reality, you will get proofs all the time. Like my favorite example is I was just starting to shift, and I wrote the first book about aliens. I was about to write the second book, but I was not sure when to start. And I met, I was camping with friends, and I always knew that little boy that was their child. And the boy comes to me and says, only one thing ever, we communicated ever. He said, when are you going to write your second book? So that's four-dimensional reality. Just strangers or people who are not, you don't know who they are. They just come and give you messages, just like that. And life goes from there as a series of synchronicities and signs and stuff like that. And psychic, telepathic abilities, all the sensations in the body, your meditations change, again, those feelings like this heaviness here, this heaviness there. Usually it's presence, and for me it's usually a presence of someone spiritual or higher dimensional. They kind of knock on your shoulder, like heavy here or heavy there. Health-wise, it's up and downs always. You always have ups and downs, and the more you shift, the more you. On one hand, you become open, like open to all the energies. On the other hand, negative things come to you as well as positive things. So you have to learn how to filter them, and you filter again by smiling and choosing what you really is your vibration. So dumping some of the old beliefs, dumping some of their negative things is essential. Like I'm really not afraid of that anymore. I'm not afraid of anything anymore. Just the trust that you've been guided helps you to deal with those things which kind of knock on you, like this noise which you hear, like all the time. It's you asked for opening of the veil. Now it's open. Now you get all the noise from the universe coming to you. Right, so you have to learn how to filter and listen in that noise. So you choose you have to dictate your choice. I want to tune into that, and you kind of bring in that channel open, and then you get connected. Just you have to filter out. If you have like white noise, that's everything.
Yeah.
So you have to choose your channel. You have to choose your excitement. That's the tons of more symptoms. I just don't know where to start. You can't eat certain things anymore, or if you decided you wish to be like to be, I at some point I was limiting my diet, and then decided I want to eat food which is dear to my friends and family. So I want to sit down and eat the same food. So it's possible to meditate on it and adjust to it in many cases.
That's wonderful, Joanna. Thank you so much for that question. It's really beautiful, and I've been keep looking at the Max's shirts, and that's a way to start the day. I love it. I really, really love it, and it's a great way to present yourself to everyone else and to DNA. So, Max, would you mind ending with blessings for DNA with Om sound?
Yes. Yes. The short is actually a protection. When you wear bright, wear white, wear your favorite colors, wear bright. You shift. You disconnect yourself from the world which wears dark. You disconnect. It's conscious disconnection. You choose your crowd. You choose your connection or disconnection. I cut my hair short because there was too much darkness in the world a few days ago. So the hair is antennas, and It's obviously symbolic. It's a permission slip. But when you cut your hair short, it's also a symbol. I'm in my space. I want to dictate my vibration, not to respond to all the darkness that dumps onto you. I don't have to choose sides, this side or that side. I am in peace, in balance. I am carrying the light to everybody. Last thing which I should mention, because it wasn't mentioned properly yet, is starseeds, crystal children, autistic children. These are often the children whose genetics is advanced. Their souls can be also very advanced. Genetics and soul are two different lineages, so don't mix them together. They have relative vibrations, so for the soul to find a home in your genetics, it has to find similar vibration to adjust, to attach itself to that genetics. So it's much easier for a human soul to incarnate in a human than into some other creature which is not directly related. So there is a relation, but these are two different lineages, the soul lineage and the genetic lineage. So the soul basically chooses the genetics, and you think that mixture of father, you might think that mixture, the scientists think that mixture of their mixing of the father's and mother's genetics happens at random, but from the soul perspective is that's where they do their creative part. They consciously choose the genes from the father and from mother to incarnate, to create their own fetus, their own genetics, their own embryo. And as you shift in your life, again, through defining your reality, you change your genetics. You change not only the future, you change your past, you change your genetics in many ways. So the hybrid children, the star seeds, the crystal children, some of them are already grown-ups, but they just carry the genetics and the soul lineage from the aliens. And I know in person of someone whose father is a Pleiadian from Pleiades, and he just fell in love with a woman on Earth and decided to live on Earth and have a family. I didn't meet the Pleiadian father, but I met the child, and everybody knows he's a half Pleiadian one. There are videos of hybrids who speak on camera. We already discussed them in the community, and some of them are very advanced. And I'm so happy to meet your advanced hybrids and learn your stories about yourself, your hybridization, and your shifting. We interviewed Zachariah. Zachariah is very popular on our channel, and he is very advanced hybrid, and with Pleiadian genetics and Zeta Gray soul experience. So he has past life as a Zeta Gray. It was a very interesting story. So when you deal with these children, if these are your children, or your family's children, understand them, respect them as you would respect the elders. Treat them as you would treat the elders, with respect, and permit them many things. Allow them everything which is not dangerous, immediately dangerous for their life. Respect their choices. Listen to them, because they will give you messages. Be a hybrid in terms of you are a hybrid. Be a guide for them, because you as a hybrid learn a life on Earth, and you have to translate to their advanced mind how to live here, and translate it in a loving, respectful manner. So you have to explain, yes, everything is deceitful, the commercials are deceitful, but you have to live with it. Look at it. Look at the bright side. Look at the bright side, and that's how you deal with it. That's the society. That's how you live here. But the fall is beautiful. The leaves are orange. The flowers smell, and the sex is wonderful. And they will take it from there. They will guide you. Any more questions before we finish?
I'm good. Thank
Thank you.
you.
You wanted Om.
Yes.
Hmm. I will give you a range of sounds which I usually use for healing, and for me it is, in part, it is DNA activation sounds. They are known in earthly medicine and earthly alternative medicine as traditional Chinese healing sounds. Traditional Chinese healing sounds. And I was told that this is also a snake language, which doesn't contradict because Chinese are also big on snakes and dracos. Um, I improvise a lot, and often when I need the energy to flow during the Reiki session, that's what I do. I try different sounds mm, intuitively, and sometimes they feel perfect, and I kind of shift up and down. And when I feel perfect, I kind of dive into that vibe. It is still a vibration, but it is also something which I hear and the patient hears, and it goes through the brain and through the nerves, so the whole body gets its signal, allows us to synchronize, allows us to connect our genetics through this bridge. And I always work with invite my alien friends, and angelic and spiritual friends, so they have their chance to do their upgrades while I'm doing this connection. So I hold the subject in this space which I create with the sound. It sounds weird, it sounds like snoring, and it is snoring, which is very healing. One of the Western modern confusions, or how do you call it, mistakes, is to consider that snoring is bad. Snoring is what cats do. Snoring is very healing. It's a way to vibrate your body in a very healing way. So that's what I do. I snore in many different ways, and that's what I will give you. And I intended for your DNA upgrade and for your DNA resonation. Listen to it and understand that all of you in the room now are resonating with me, resonating with the spirit, and also resonating with those people who will listen later to the recording. It's trans-dimensional, also cross-time resonation. And it will be brief, like 3 5 minutes, 3 minutes. How is the sound so far? Can you hear me? I
Yeah,
think,
great.
It's
yeah.
perfect, Max.
Good. Thank you.
I bless you all. I bless your bravery. I bless your love. I bless your love. I thank you for your bravery, for your light, for your love. I thank you for being here, for vibrating with us. We thank you for opening to us. We are here to serve. We are you. We are your future incarnations. We are your parallel incarnations. We are one with you. We are one. We are as much of the carriers of light as you are. We are the same carriers of light. We are the carriers of the same light. We are vessels, ambassadors of light. Thank you for uniting with us. Thank you for shifting towards us. As we shift towards you, we welcome your shifting towards us. As you feel our light in your meditations, in your daily lives, step towards us, shift towards us, consciously intend to become one with us. Don't be afraid to be dissolved in us, because we are not to be afraid to be dissolved with you. Each of you carries unique vibration. So you cannot be dissolved. You are you and will ever be you. But uniting with us, shifting towards us, singing and dancing in the light waves, waves of light with us, will save your civilization, will open your civilization to new, brighter realities, and will help not only you, it will help all your fellow spirits, all your fellow beings, all your fellow humans, all your fellow star seeds, all your fellow star children, all your fellow star brothers and sisters. We thank you for opening to us. We thank you for sharing your light with us and your code with us. We are happy to be your star siblings. Blessed be your bravery, blessed be your unity, blessed will be your desire for integration and find your perfect, whole, complete self. Without you, we are incomplete. We bring you the chance, we bring you the opportunity to become more complete, more of yourself. We thank you for that gift. Thank you. Amen.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you,
Much love.
Max.
Beautiful. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, stopping the broadcast. Make some noise. It's nice to make some noise before we stop. Hey,
Woohoo! Thank you,
bye-bye,
Matt.
everybody.
Love you.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.